coach to look out and see those guys out there.
Yeah, that was great. Just the way the four seniors started, and then for Cade to hit that shot, reminded me of Thomas Rogers. Remember when he did that on his senior night? And for Cade, I've watched Cade shoot in practice a lot, and that might have been the biggest surprise of the game, him knocking down a three. But I was so happy for him because he's had a role that is significant in practice. He's a true servant. What a servant's heart. And so to see those guys and be able to pull them out with the game in hand and let the crowd, appreciate what they've done was special.
Tony, you obviously had a lot of milestones with this particular group, but to be undefeated all year at home, what does that say, and what does that mean to the program?
Well, one of the things when I called those guys after they did their TV interviews, I brought them to center court. I don't know if you guys were in here or out there, but I just said, look around. I said, first, give thanks. Be so thankful for what has transpired in this building over your 4 years. And I told them, I said, you guys have honored the pillars in the program, and that's the greatest gift to me. But look what's happened. Look at the excitement that's happened. And I just wanted them to appreciate that. I wanted them to be thankful for what happened, and also let them know how appreciative I was. That's a gift to me that they really did. They honored what matters to me and the pillars in our program and what came of it. But to see their heart and their drive, and again how they executed and protected their home court was really good this year, and that was special. I asked them at the end too. I said, who won, Carolina or Duke? I didn't know, and I don't know if it was London said, I knew they knew. They said Carolina won, but didn't take away from that moment to be with them and touch each one of them and just say that to them.
Doug and then David.
Yeah, Mike Tobey's had some ups and downs during his career, particularly this season.
Yeah.
How gratifying was it for you to have him go out like this?
I think hopefully it's important for the postseason tournaments, and nothing. What I told the guys before the game, I said there's a lot of things worthy to celebrate, and your last game here, at the time we didn't know you're still in the race for the title. All these things worthy, I said, but the true celebration to me is when the ball's tipped and bringing a high level of play collectively and then individually. And I get so happy when those guys do a good job or have a great individual game, especially Mike, like you said, Doug, that has had some ups and downs. To see him play and rebound like that was inspiring. And like I said, I just was thankful for that. And whenever I see those guys have those kind of games and just play collectively good as a unit, but then individually, that brings me a lot of joy. That was tonight. I mean, he was really active, and again, that was important for us because his size was very helpful.
Because we all admire Trey, Damian, and Dylan so much. But I told our guys that you learned not about basketball, you learned how to be a professional, how to treat people the right way, how to carry yourself with great dignity and grace. You learned so much from these guys, and it's going to pay huge dividends. And what you have to hope to be with all these young guys is you have to hope to be Virginia someday, a well-oiled machine like they are, because they have guys that have played together and how to cover for each other. We have guys that give great effort, but they're not a synchronized machine yet. But the good thing is everybody got a lot of experience this year. Off the court, they learned how to act from those two guys, and on the court, they had a brilliant season. They ran into a team. Certain teams, we were able to get a split last year because we were just as experienced and just as good defensively as they were. This year's team was not a good defensive team. Most young teams aren't, but the team gave great effort. So, got to give a lot of credit to Virginia. They're a team that's fun to prepare for, fun to watch. They have a legitimate chance because of their experience, the way they shoot the ball, the way they shoot free throws, the way they play defense, of doing a lot of great things in the tournament.
Questions?
Rick, what's it been like going through this since the February 5th decision to kind of, count down the games, and a lot of years you don't know when the end is going to come.
Yeah, it's difficult for a while, but it was actually much easier because of these guys. They gave such great effort. They played as if they were fighting for one seed. Now, tonight we played. We didn't play good basketball, but they were going to fight all the way to the end. It's just that they got beat by a much more experienced team that took advantage of our inexperience. So we did the best we could. We had a great year with 2 bad games. And sometimes you can say, oh, we didn't shoot well. We didn't shoot well because Virginia's a great defensive team. Nobody plays us as well as Virginia.
Rick, are you ready to make any bold proclamations about your future?
Well, I told ESPN that I'll be very serious and very upfront, and it may sound earth-shattering news, but I spoke to Steve Kerr today for the first time in a while from when he played. And I said, look, I'd really like to coach Steph Curry. Can you step down next year? And he said he would let me have the reins for 1 year. And so that's where I'm going. I'm going to Golden State next year for 1 year, hoping they win it back-to-back, and I'm going to try to get them at 3-peat.
Other than that?
No, I'm sold on Steph.
Rick, in the big picture things, though, for this team that was picked to finish 7th in this league, you would have gotten a double bye. It was pretty impressive the way.
Oh, they were great all year. I mean, they didn't look great tonight, but they were great all year. I mean, I think Damian and Trey, the last 3 or 4 games, they didn't play up to their level. I think they were going through the tunnel, and they finally saw the end of the tunnel. They were very emotional in the locker room, and I think sometimes that emotion after our senior night makes you have a game like this. But they were a true privilege to coach. I haven't had, not since Billy Donovan, have I looked at 2 young men like that. So just special young men. I'm going to miss them terribly.
It's pretty intense at the start of the game, the pregame stuff. What was that like for you guys to go through, and did it impact you the way you thought it would, or did you just kind of blow it off and go play basketball?
It was a lot of fun. It was high emotions, and everybody was just overtaken with a lot of emotions, and it was up to us to go out there and really control them and still try to play a basketball game throughout all the craziness that was going on. But it was a lot of fun. I think me and all the seniors, we've had a great run here, and we've been a part of building something special, and it was just a great opportunity to get recognized out there in front of all the fans.
All right, Mike?
Defensively, this is the lowest point total you guys have allowed. Is there a sort of fitting end to play that way in your final home game that well defensively?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it speaks to us finding our identity at the right time, us peaking as a team defensively at the right time. Going into the postseason, I think we're playing the best basketball of our season, and I think that's an example of how we played tonight.
Malcolm, you're not a guy who shows a lot of emotion all that often, even before the game, senior night, you seem to be, as usual. What was it like inside, though? What kind of feelings were you having, and how did that impact you as you got going?
Excited. Really thankful to have had the career I've had at UVA, to have had the opportunity I've had on and off the court here. Just really grateful and humbled for the opportunity, and being able to have been applauded like that. It's really awesome. But at the same time, you got to be able to switch your mindsets quick and get ready to play. So you got to hold down your emotions a little bit and focus in.
Jeff? Anthony, have you ever seen Cade make a 3-pointer in practice, and what about the reaction of his teammates tonight when he made the one?
The only time I've ever seen Cade make a 3 in practice is when we were doing the JMU Scout our first year here. He was a guy named Andre Siminoff, and ever since then he hasn't hit a 3 in practice. And then tonight he finally hit one in the game, which was awesome. And I thought we were going to get a technical foul because everybody pretty much ran on the court when he hit it. It was just an awesome moment.
Sure.
For both of you guys, what does it mean to you to finish out an unbeaten season at home? It hasn't been done here in 34 years.
That's awesome. I didn't know how many years it had been done. I knew we accomplished that after tonight. But I think it speaks to us. I think it speaks to Coach Bennett and what he's really doing at UVA and the type of players he's recruiting. Because I think it goes not only on the court but off the court. It's about the guys that he recruits, the type of guys, the character, and that character is what allows us to persevere through ups and downs and really protect our home court every night and be resilient regardless of whether or not we've gone on the road and gotten beaten.
Doug?
Malcolm, talk about your defense on Lee and Lewis today. You guys shut them down at Louisville. Did you expect something different from them today, and what were the keys?
They're both dynamic scorers. What you have to do with them is make them uncomfortable. It's not really one man that shuts either of them down. It's really a team effort. We're a team defense, and they're great off the ball screens, and that's a lot of the time the bigs that have to hedge and disrupt the ball screen. So it was really a collective effort, and with great players, you have to do it as a team. It's hard for one person to completely shut down another, so it's definitely a team effort.
Anthony, as a fellow big, I'm guessing you have an appreciation for someone getting 20 rebounds. What was your reaction just watching Mike tonight?
I was so happy for him. That's awesome. At the end, when he had 19, I just wanted to box my guy out so he can get 20, and he played awesome tonight, and I couldn't be happier for him. I couldn't be happier for all the other seniors tonight, and we just went out with a bang, which was a great showing of what UVA basketball is all about.
Anthony, he had more rebounds tonight than he had in February. He has seemed to have a little bit more intensity and like toughness. Like if somebody tries to take the ball away from him, he's trying to rip it back lately. Do you see that in him, and do you guys see it in practice?
Yeah, he's always working. He wants to be great, and he has it in him. And tonight he showed it. We're going to need that going down the stretch, and from here on out is one game and we're done. So we're going to need everybody to step up, and tonight was a perfect opportunity for him to go ahead and show us what he can do, and because we knew what he can do, but it was just great for him to get it back and show himself that he can do it and get the confidence back.
Okay, last question to you. Can you guys share anything from what Tony said to you or the message he gave you guys tonight when you guys huddled up at the end there?
Just that we were a part of doing something special here. We helped put the building blocks down to have all the fans at the games and everything like that, and to have the championships that we had, and just that he was really proud of us, and he was just expressing his feelings about the seniors and how he's going to miss coaching us and everything like that.
And just kind of tough.
Yeah, that's something I've been trying to work on. Going into this game especially, just sat down with Coach Bennett. We actually went to lunch and just talked about what I need to do for the team at the end of the season, kind of stuff like that, to help the team make a big run. And he just said, just play with a reckless abandon. And I really just tried to do that tonight. Just kind of go out there and just play free and just, like I said, play with a reckless abandon.
Were you kind of jacked up emotionally just by all the pregame hoopla and all that stuff too?
A little bit. I mean, I think that's kind of why I airballed that one shot. I think I was very, it was definitely an emotional experience. I mean, just being able to go out there with my family, and it was an amazing night and a great atmosphere.
It looked like you looked up and saw where that career high 17 rebounds in the scoreboard.
Oh, I wanted to get to one.
But did you look? Did you know you had 17 with it?
When I saw them put it up, I knew I had to get 3.
So you were? Did you know that 16 was your previous high?
Probably it was a 10, 16.
So what did you think when you saw the 17? Did it feel like 17?
Honestly, Coach Sanchez was keeping me updated because I was like, Coach, I want to get 20 because I've never had 20 ever in my life, so he was keeping me updated. So, and then maybe the last one, all my teammates were saying on the foul line, they were like, get it. So it was a pretty easy one that just kind of just fell down. So they all just boxed out when I get the rebound. So it was a great night.
Describe the shot with the shot clock going down.
Oh man, that was just so DT hits those shots all the time in practice. So I was just told him I was just trying to copy what he does. So.
You hit one away quick, right, too.
Huh?
You hit one away
exactly. Like he seriously does hit those all the time. It's crazy.
What was this night like? Just the emotion of it all.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. I don't even know what to say. But it's just awesome. This is one of those things for me. It kind of hits me like a week or two. That I'm not going to be back. But when Cade let that ball go, I thought this can't be true. It's too good to be true. And it went in, and it took me back to Thomas Rogers, and it was just, obviously it wasn't, we didn't win the regular season in that game, but it was just so awesome with Toby's game and Malcolm and AJ, so it was really cool.
To be out on the court, I think
for about a minute together. It was just the 5 seniors together. I don't think you've ever been on the court all together at the same time. What was that like?
It was cool. Right. It was cool. You know, it's kind of so many emotions that, you know, in the moment, you know, you're kind of worried about getting the ball past half court, but you know, you kind of look around and you're like, wow. You know, you look over the bench and everybody else is going to be, you know, replacing everybody that was on the court. So it's hard to describe, but it's awesome.
What do you think making the shots could do for you in postseason? You've made a lot of shots in postseason.
I think, you know, I try to, you know, go into every game with, you know, I think before I got hiccup injury, I felt, you know, my confidence was very high, and, you know, I think it's back to that point because I think it took a game or two to get back from the foot injury. So, you know, I think it's just you know, having the confidence to shoot, and I was pretty open, you know, pretty wide open in those shots. So, but yeah, I mean, just shooting like I always do, you know, in practice and everything.
To hear how happy the crowd is for you when you make a shot, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, that's
encouraging, isn't it?
it is really, you know, it means a lot when, you know, supporters are, you know, just chanting your name, you know, even if, you know, you've gone through some ups and downs in the season, and, you know, people are genuinely happy for you, so it does make you feel, you know, sometimes I don't hear it, but tonight I did. I was just trying to soak it all in. So.